what's happening? It's the effing Side Street Kid. And we are back with another episode of Think New. Think New episode 16. I hope y'all been rocking out every radio.
Just to let you know you fucking with a mob. It's an everyday thing, niggas staying on their job. Cause I got to beat the streets to eat, so bust this running hot. If you wanna stay alive, then you best to stay inside. My mentality is right when you cowards out of line. Is this the end of time? Yeah, it's just another sign. So as long as I can breathe, I'ma keep on getting mine. Keep on clutching on my eye, cause my life is on the line. Got to get with baby girl, she say she like it from behind. When I hit it and she whine, make her love me long time. Going deep like I'm looking for silver, call me Long John. It's a hustle to get this paper, baby, I'm on mine. Can't you see the shit on my wrist and my finger all shine?
Yeah. Shout out to Mill Gates. Shout out to Mill Gates. That was for your sorrows. Me, Mill Gates, and Big Gip. Yeah. That was the original version. You know, Big Boy has he put out a version with George Clinton, Too Short. You know what I mean? It's fire with, you know, Sam Chris, same hook, everything. It's fire, but that's our version. That's where it started at. Anyhow, we up in here. Think New podcast, episode 16 with Malik Albert. Like I said, I'm Side Street Kid. You can probably tell by the shirt. By the way, if you want one, tank tops are $20. You can DM me, hit me up. I ship, you know, nationwide. If you're in another country, I got to see what your shipping rate is, and we'll work that out. But just DM me. Let's see what's up. I also got hats. Got the hats are 20. You probably saw that on the effing radio show with the commercials. Shout out to Echo the Goddess. She was rocking the black Side Street Keg hat. Also got black and gray. But yeah, they 20. You could DM me. I'll ship them too. Just holler at me. Also, we got the Elephant Pool hoodies. Elephant Pool hoodies is $65. Shout out to Mill Gates again. That's his brand. We partnered on. You know what I mean? I did the artwork and stuff. And but you know, the Elephant Pool, Elephant Money. That's his company. You know what I mean? We running with that branding too. So you can also reach out to me for those in the DM. They $65. And I got other stuff. You know what I mean? You can check out my Instagram page and you'll see some of my other products, the armbands and stuff like that. Armbands, t-shirts, the Vans, kicks, the jackets, you know, get at me. So, anyway, tonight, man, we got a special guest, man. I say he's a special guest because I probably wouldn't be sitting here in front of you right now as the Side Street Kid that you know if it wasn't for this man right here, Malik Albert. Just kind of like a brief history of how I know him. Back in the day when we was working on the Dungeonese album, we was working in different studios and stuff like that. And, you know, Dungeonese is more like Ray's thing. Oh, that's Malik calling me right here. Yo,
what's up, kid?
Yo, what's happening?
Not too much. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to hit you back or you was gonna hit me. I wasn't sure how it works.
Oh, no, I'm gonna call you in just a second. I was just introing you on the thing. We live right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call you right back so I can bring you on live, like video and stuff like that.
All right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yo, Rocco, you see some a pack of blunts over there? Okay, appreciate it. Um, yeah, so where was I at? Yeah, the way me and Malik met. So it was in the studio working on the Dungeonese album. Malik was one of the engineers that Ray was using for the sessions, and you know, I can't say I remember exactly, but what I do remember is that Malik, you know, at the time, you know, we was working with big dogs. We was working with the big dogs. You know what I mean? I didn't have a proven track record, none of that kind of stuff. I had, you know, the music I was making in California, it's not like I'm trying to chump it off. That shit was solid. It's just that, you know, that's all I pretty much had was my stuff that I have been doing, putting out or doing whatever. But I'm in the studio with the big dogs right now. I'm in there with, you know, Outkast and Goody Mob and cats like Corrupt, and I mean, everybody was coming to the studio. Like, I don't even, if I was to start naming names, it'd be crazy. So everybody's coming to the studio. We all working together. Blah 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 blah. And you know, so I'm a rat. I'm a studio rat at the time. I can't just pop in, drop a verse, and bounce. I gotta be there. You know what I mean? So that when the opportunity came for me to be able to slide in, I was there ready. I had my verse ready. There was no time for writing to nothing. You know what I mean? We talking pre-Pro Tools. We recording the reel. That shit had to be solid, like all the way flat. And so it would get to the point to where late at night, everybody would leave. They'd be gone home doing whatever. And, you know, I would still be in the studio. Ray would be them left. Everybody left. I'm still in the studio. Malik is still in the studio. Because I'm still up. I'm still writing. I'm still trying to vibe this shit. What's this? What's that? And Malik would be in there mixing and stuff. And he'll be like, you know, shit, you got so you want to record? Like, I'm pretty much done with this. We still here. We got the studio till whatever time. Shit, why don't you get in the booth? I'm like, bet. That's how me and Malik started working together. Was he was willing, because see, what I didn't say is that a lot of engineers wouldn't take those chances on artists like me at the time that was around, because a lot of cats, is no points in even saying names, because most of these people that did this didn't stick around. They didn't make the cut. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't know who their names was anyway, probably. But it'll be people in there that would talk the shit like they the shit, and then an engineer would take a risk on them, probably not knowing, thinking, you know, that's what they supposed to do. Take a risk on them, record some bullshit. When the producer come back, he hear that shit, he pissed. You done wasted my reel, my studio time. Who told you to do that shit? Whatever. They fired the engineer. So a lot of engineers wouldn't do it. Malik, I guess he felt like I wasn't bullshitting. He gave me a shot. You know what I mean? And shout out to Morgan too, because Morgan Garcia was the other cat who did that for me at that time. You know what I mean? But me and Malik clicked to where we just started. I would just, you know, Ray would just give me the studio at night. By then he had his own studio, Blackberry Sound. It was being built at first when we first met, and then by the time me and Malik started getting into a groove of recording, that studio was like open. So late at night when nobody had it booked, I could have it all night long, and I go in there and I record with Malik. It'd just be me and him, and I call up whoever, like if I needed features and shit like that. But that's how we got cool, and then we just stayed cool from there. But Malik is a dope, he's like a master engineer. I don't want to say like a man, he is a master engineer. He was master engineer at Stankonia when I met him and all that kind of, he didn't move on from there now. And I don't want to give too much background on him, because once again, I like for the the guests to be able to speak for themselves, give you the background, is always much more interesting. And I personally never know all the details. You know what I mean? So it's better to just let the person speak for themselves. So I'm gonna go ahead on and try and give him a ring real quick, get him up in here. Since we know he's on standby. Let's see. We said we're gonna do Facebook Messenger. This is always the long process, especially since I was just in Facebook jail. That's why I'm streaming on YouTube right now, because this podcast be getting me in Facebook jail, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I be rolling blunts on camera, but I just be podcasting, we be talking regular stuff, you know, whatever. And next thing I know, I'm blocked. I can't get in. I'm in Facebook jail. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't even say the big C word on here. You say the big C word, they shut you down. Or the big V word. Like, that's real shit. So I don't even fuck around with that, man. Everybody entitled to believe what they want to believe. I don't care. I'm gonna do what's good for me and mine. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you what it is. But I ain't about to sit here and debate with you over it. You know what I mean? Like, for what?
What's up, kid?
What's poppin'?
Side street.
What's
going on?
It say your video's paused.
All right, what you say? This is a video?
Yeah, it say your video is paused, like you got your camera turned off or something.
Okay, let me see. I see myself moving. I see you.
That's crazy. I can't. Everything's blurred. That's what happened last time I tried to use it. Maybe it's because I'm in Facebook jail.
Are you really? You in Facebook jail?
Yeah, that's why I'm streaming on YouTube right now, man. I tried to start the podcast. They told me I was in Facebook jail again.
Damn. You been sending out some political stuff?
Nah. I don't know what it is about this podcast, but they don't like it. It's like they feel like I'm talking in code or something. I don't know.
Hey, tell me this. Do you send out a lot of invites to it?
Yep.
Because I think one of the things they do is if you send out a lot of invites at once, I think that might be one of the things they don't like.
That might be it. I don't send out a whole lot. What I do is I might post it. I post a link in a couple groups, and then I might DM a couple people that follow it. You know what I mean? But I don't be like, come watch the podcast. Come on, I don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if people just see it, they'll watch it because it's interesting, or else they won't. But at some point in time, they will. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you see right now? What do you got? Like is it my regular profile picture that you see, or is it like frozen of?
I see a
great. Real quick.
I see a grayed out screen, and it say Malik's video is paused.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad.
Damn, man, you got it. You got your camera on and everything.
Yeah, because I can see you and I can see me, and every time I bring up my info, everything is activated. I've never done this stuff before though, but I've been on the Messenger before.
Damn, that's cool. Because the only other thing I have is like FaceTime. I could do FaceTime. I could do. That's really about it. I think I got Zoom.
Let me see. I'm on the Android, so they got Duo. What did you? You're on the Apple phone. That's when they have FaceTime.
Yeah, I'm on Apple. I'm on my laptop.
Oh, damn.
I was
See, they don't got FaceTime for my phone.
just make something else.
I have to try to think of another way. I don't even know how you're doing all of this. This is some advanced stuff that I'm not even hip to yet.
Dang, that's what happened last time, and I had to really do that whole podcast like this. Well, but that was different. We was talking about battle rap. That was a little different.
Did they put Duo on your phone?
Nah, we don't have to do it. It's just FaceTime. Let me see. I tried. It ain't gonna work. I tried that before.
Instagram doesn't have some sort of a video thing, do they?
They do, but I can't get Instagram on my laptop.
Oh, damn. Well, shoot. What would be the next best step if I came over there?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Damn.
But, or we just do it like this. It just won't be no video feed, I guess.
Right. Yeah. No. I want to make it best as possible for you.
All right. 'Cause you can't do FaceTime.
If I do on a computer over here. Now, what if I'm on a regular computer?
If
Does that make any difference, or I still gotta have?
Yeah, if you're on an Apple computer, yeah, that'll work.
Damn. Damn. I don't know, kid.
Now, because normally this is how I do when people have Androids. I do Facebook Messenger. This is weird as fuck. This is the second time they had me blocked like this.
So, besides me being behind, the only other thing that's messing it up is just Facebook jail.
Yeah, it gotta be that Facebook jail. That's what's going on. Cause it say your video is, which don't make sense. Why would they let me make the call, but not use the video?
Yeah, that's strange. I keep touching my phone and everything is lit up. Let me see. I'll touch the video, but as soon as I touch my video,
something
I
happened.
lose the ability to see myself.
Okay, now I got a thumbnail. Now it say your video's paused.
All right, so I put it back on.
Yeah, now it say your video's paused again.
But then when I take my video off, what happens?
And then I get your profile pic.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I turn my video off, you get my profile picture, but I put my video back on, you get the grayed out thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just did something to yours real quick?
Yeah, I just turned my camera on and off.
Yeah, that's
Allow
crazy.
Messenger to record your
I'm
screen.
gonna hit my microphone real quick.
Open. Let me see. Open preferences. Alright, there's some other shit.
Yeah, so the microphone thing is acting right because I just turned it off for a second, but the camera stuff just acting weird. Damn. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd rather wait till your camera's working so we do it right. Not your camera, but the Facebook jail thing. Unless I get a proper app that I can video you with.
Yeah, because I doubt I can get Duo. Damn, what happened to that? And you don't have Zoom, right?
No, but I think I did at the beginning of this pandemic thing when the kids were in school.
Mm-hmm.
I could try to go ahead and get it back again.
Yeah, I gotta do the same thing because I don't have it on here no more.
But shoot, I don't know. If it's all right, I'll just come kick it with you one time.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. And just do it live here.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. That'll work.
I'll set that up. I just gotta make sure I ain't got no games or something coming up pretty soon to work around that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe, because they usually keep me in Facebook jail, about a week?
Oh, yeah, that's it?
Last time, I think it was about a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, whichever one comes first.
Or let me think.
I gotta go try to find that one. I want to look at that one with you and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that shit was kind of good. That shit was kind of good. Then I put one up with Shannon right after that. Shannon Lawrence.
Damn, why do I know that name?
I don't know, but Shannon, he's my cousin. And
Sound like a famous person.
he ran for like city council. He's in the like politics in California, but yeah, he did a good interview. It was dope. Well, shit, damn, I was ready to do this shit.
Yeah.
Well, so what you working on over there? We still live right now anyway. We may as well have some sort of conversation.
Right. Man, what I'm really working on, not at the very moment, but just in general, is trying to sharpen up these 13 songs so I can put it out for my next distribution project. And I'm trying to incorporate more of the family. I got Masashi on some live drums on about 3 songs, and Ula is on over half of them.
That's hot. I remember when
Yeah,
Musashi was just starting to ask for a drum set.
Yeah.
Damn,
Now he got
almost
a $1,000 electronic one.
That was probably what, 10 years? 10 years ago?
10 years ago, yep, with the regular old analog drum kit. Yep.
Yep. About 10 years ago. That's where he started. Yeah, man. I know he's serious on him now.
Yeah, he is. I feel sort of like an idiot. All this time, people learning stuff, and I'm still tinkering.
He's still tinkering. But nah, man, that's where it be at. You gotta like find your niche and then just go with it.
Right.
Yep.
Now, one of the things I've been focusing on, and it's always been part of my musical DNA before I even started making beats, was I just always wanted to be original.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my favorite songs, whether they're R&B or hip hop, they got samples in it. So I'm not hating on any sample artist. I'm not hating on it. Sometimes you might see a post where I'm talking shit about samples and things like that. But really, in my heart, I'm not really hating on any sample artists. It's just that me personally, I don't want to sample other people's stuff. You know, people are doing some great things with samples, but I want to do great things with samples, but I want the samples to come from some song that I already created.
So you're sampling yourself.
Yeah, sample myself, and that's not to sound like some sort of a high boast kind of thing, because I can't even play no instruments. So my stuff that I'm sampling from my stuff is really a lot of crap stuff that I'm trying to turn into something better, you know? But I'm just sort of really just sticking to that angle of trying to be original. And maybe that's how some of my weird sounds come out.
Okay. Got you. And plus, I mean, and you still got stuff, you still do stuff with Ula too, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, she's the one that I come up with an idea, but once she puts that melody on it, it's like a whole nother world.
Cause she still plays like mostly like Asian. What is it, like on the Asian scale?
Yeah, that pentatonic scale.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's more of an Asian thing or whatever. But you know, she's jazz trained and classical trained or whatever. So the thought process goes everywhere. What I needed to be trained in is some funk. You can be classical trained.
Hold on a second, Malik. Yeah, I'm still podcasting.
All right, cool.
All right. Yeah, my bad.
Yep. So good. No, I was just saying, you know, you can be classical trained or orchestral trained or whatever and be really good at what you do. But that don't mean funk is going to come out of you or hip hop or,
Right.
whatever.
Right. Right. My theory with it all really is that what makes something funky is not what you play, it's what you don't play.
Such as if it's a certain, like if you're in a certain style of music, if you avoid certain notes, that kind of keeps it out of a certain realm.
More so like it's something I heard. Well, it's something I heard Nile Rodgers say one time. Like he said, I was talking to him about. I think I was talking to him about Freak Out, how he played Freak Out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that he really started off playing the trumpet, and he wanted to be like Miles Davis. You know what I mean? Like that was his idol. And
Yep.
so he would, when he started playing guitar, he really was just trying to make the guitar sound like Miles Davis played the trumpet, right?
Yep.
And so he said Miles Davis's theory was that the funk lives in what you don't hear. Like it's in the space in between the notes. And then so I started understanding what he meant. Like basically, like you mentioned the scale, we have the pentatonic scale or whatever everybody's playing on. So that means in any given measure you could play those notes that, just say for instance if it was do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you just did that, that's corny. But when you go fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, then that shit sounds funky because it wasn't the fact that you said fa and sol and la and ti and whatever. It wasn't the notes. It was the notes you took out, the space between them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the funk is in what you don't hear.
Then you got to have that rhythm in it too.
Mm-hmm. That rhythm, all of that. And that's why everybody can't just do, like, if you classically train, it don't mean you could play hip hop or funk or what jazz, and even if you do it, it don't mean it's gonna be a good version of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Because a lot of that also still got to be, you got to feel it. You got to be in you.
Yeah, Mike Jackson in the building. He just hit me up. Say he watching.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
What's up, MJ?
Yeah. Well, I guess listening since we more like radio, but that's cool because I'm doing audio too.
So people, they can't see you and just see my grayed out picture?
Nah, they can't see you. They just see me.
Oh, so they can see you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, they can see me. But yeah, that's dope though, cause I like how y'all merge that together though. How you do, like, you lay out the bed kind of. She do melody on top of it, but her melody is not the traditional. It don't be like the traditional thought behind how we, you know what I mean? How we used to hearing it. Like I kind of dig that. It's different.
Well, I started doing the distribution thing 1 year ago during this pandemic in the summertime, actually in June. So I put out the first project, and then shortly after that, I put out 2 more other ones. And the way I've been running them was, they were like, I call them like 50-50 projects, which is the old school thing. I like half of it. I like half of what I put into it, and the other half is like B-side type of music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this one that I'm working on right now, project number 4, I'm thinking everyone should like every one of them. You know, like the other ones I put out, I'm expecting people only to like you on each of those projects. But on this one here, I'm expecting them to like if not all of them, at least most of them.
That's dope. That's dope. That's what's up, man. That's crazy too. When I think about it, it's almost like they trying to stop. Like this interview is trying. You know what I mean? Like negative energies are trying to stop this interview or something. It's crazy. I'm glad I kept going. Cause
no, shooting like you're right.
I just thought about like the first thing that happened was my light broke out of nowhere. Like the bulb just broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, how that happen? Like the socket is still in the socket, everything it just broke. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just use this other light. I'll just turn it up brighter or something. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah.
Then I go try and set up the stream, and I find out I'm in Facebook jail. I'm like, damn, fuck it. I'm gonna just stream on YouTube. YouTube, and then call you, and the camera doesn't work. I'm like, like damn.
I don't even know how you're doing all the stuff that you're doing. Like, I don't know how you stream on YouTube, but you talk on another messenger program. I don't even know how you got all that.
Shit, I don't know, man. Just doing it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, what it is I have, all right, so I bought a, damn, I thought I showed you some stuff. Maybe I didn't have it yet when you came and helped me set up for the, radio stream.
Yeah.
I didn't show you the Mayano caster I had.
No, that name doesn't even sound familiar. What'd you call it?
Mayano caster.
No. I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so I don't even remember what I had then. I had the computer already, right?
Yeah, I remember, but we didn't go live or anything. We really just made sure that we got what was it? Not Ableton. What was that? The machine?
I have the machine.
I think that was the machine program we were using, right? That we had to get that MIDI or something like that going with your controller.
No. We was using the Sakai. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's all we messed with. We didn't even like broadcast anything.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's this caster thing you're talking about? Is it a device?
I didn't upgraded a bunch of shit. I got a dedicated computer for the radio stream now. All right, so what I'm using is I got this Mayano caster, and basically what this does is it gives me my microphone, which is here, you know what I mean? And it gives me effects like, gunshots, laughter, applause, that kind of stuff. And I can route different things through it. Like I can Bluetooth my phone to it. So like I can get audio off my phone to run into it. It's just like a mixing board for podcasting kind of vibe. I can store sounds like taglines and shit. They got effects, blah blah blah. And then
not like your typical host or DJ set of sounds for like here comes Cat introduction and applause.
Yeah, or I could just be like side street Cat or whatever, that kind of shit, little taglines and stuff, or like make my own sound effects. And then I use this OBS program that allows me to switch scenes where I could do split screens where use my camera and capture other video that's on my laptop. You know what I mean? Like I could pull up YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff, and show them on the screen. So that's how I do that. I put up, I do put my graphics up and stuff. I'm still just kind of doing it. Like I haven't had time to really get into it, but I'm a flex out in a minute. Like I want to be able to cut my background out and just put myself on the Think New logo and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
cut the back, so you're getting into that green screen stuff.
Well, I've seen that it's ways to do it even without the green screen now. It's certain filters that, like.
Yeah, you can actually have any solid color. You can have a blue screen or
No, I mean,
red
I've seen them
screen.
cut out all kinds of backgrounds now. I don't know how to do it with just my OBS software, but yeah, they cut. I've seen it like Snapchat and Instagram and all that. They'll just cut right around you. Your
Cut
whole
right,
background.
yeah, right,
They be
right. Just
moving
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. It don't even matter.
Right.
Yeah, that's some whole other shit. I remember when I was in school, we used to have to go through each frame and mask shit and do all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah. So I know one thing I wanted to ask though is like, how did you get into engineering?
All right. Well, I got a twin brother, and we've both always been into the music and stuff since we were younger. But he's been more of a singer, and even though I did a little bit of singing next to him, he's been the one. But I was more of a dancer, so I was doing a little breakdancing and backflips and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But then as we got older, he started joining the groups, singing groups, and I don't know, I was more of a nerd. So it really wasn't even until someone like Teddy Riley came along with all them instruments, it made me start thinking about all them damn instruments. But then I started thinking about more like the background. I started thinking about the engineering and all that kind of stuff. So it was probably only about 2 years after I bought my own drum machine and keyboard and stuff that I really started focusing more on engineering. Bought an old program called Voyager. It's an old computer program. And then I bought a Cubase. And then after fooling around with Cubase for a little bit, I knew I wanted to do this like on the engineering side. So I went to school over in Arizona for 6 months. And once I finished school over in Arizona, they asked me what city I wanted to go to, so we could start looking at some studios. I chose where Teddy Riley was from. I chose Virginia, and I chose Atlanta.
So originally you wanted to. It was Teddy Riley that kind of inspired you, like the way he was putting his production together and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's one of those people who started making me pay attention to every instrument in a song. Like it was the way he was back when I didn't know anything about music tracks. I was counting instruments. So when you count the instruments, you kind of automatically know they're on separate tracks. But my way early days, I was counting instruments in the song.
Right.
Like counting sounds in the drum kit, counting horns, the guitars, and I was just like, man, there's like 13 instruments in this song or whatever. It's like early shit like that was really getting me interested in the engineering side. But it was all based off of listening to Teddy Riley's licks of music coming in and out in various parts of the song, and his break it down, all his little breakdowns and all this other stuff. Take it to the bridge. Yeah, all his switch ups and stuff, man. It was getting me into it.
Damn, that's what's up. I want to say too. I gotta say, anybody out there watching, everybody, you know what I mean. Please like, share, and subscribe the broadcast. I know we have some technical difficulties tonight, but it don't matter. We still here kicking game. Malik is here kicking game, and you know what I mean. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean. Don't be a hater. Join in. But what I wanted to say though was when we first kind of start working together, you was still a big like Cubase advocate. I remember because you told me to get Cubase. You was like, I'm telling you, you could do a lot of stuff with Cubase. You could, you know what I mean? Like you pretty much taught me that whole platform. So I went out and got it. Was that the first like program that you worked with?
Well, my first one that I probably only ended up working with for about 6 or 8 months was this program called Voyager, and
Yeah,
I
you
think it was
did just say
Voyager
that.
Plus,
I've never heard
and
of that.
that was my early stages. That was actually what made it easy for me to go from that program to Cubase. And like Voyager, I think that program only cost me about $30. But
Now,
when I
what
bought
year?
Cubase
What year was
back
this?
then, huh?
What year was this?
This was 1996.
Damn, I didn't even know they was doing music on computers in '96.
Yeah. Oh man, they were doing that stuff on computers late in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I mean I know, but I'm saying like it went in 1996. I didn't even know. Like,
Like people was doing it like on a regular in their home.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
That
still
was sort of around those times. That's when Cakewalk.
that was advanced. Still, it was advanced to be doing it like that.
Yeah, because that's when
Cakewalk,
all
I
those
remember
programs came
Cakewalk.
out back then.
Mm-hmm. I remember Cakewalk.
Cubase,
So
Cakewalk. There's
when you
another one
first
who I'm
started,
forgetting, but
did you start on reels or did you start on like mini disc, or what was the format when you first came into the studio?
all right, those when I first started doing any sort of recording, music recording, track wise, it was on a computer.
Okay.
Doing it was on a Dell computer in 1996, and I was doing the Voyager, and I went out, and after about over half a year, I went out and got Cubase. But yeah, got the question. But my whole recording process started on computer.
Okay, but like, all right, let's go back to when. Okay, so when you left school, you said you picked. It was between Virginia and Atlanta,
Yeah,
and then you ended up in Atlanta.
I ended up in Atlanta. The first people I got a reply from was Dallas Austin's people. So I started my internship over there, and over there, they did have a Pro Tools room, but it was still this. Now this is back in '99. It's back in 1999, April 1999, and they still had all the Studer A24 machines. Those are the reels. Those are 2-inch reel tapes.
Yeah.
And we were still doing it on those. I had no problem with that because I had just gotten out of school or whatever. So but they did have a Pro Tools room, and in 1999, that was sort of like a big thing to them. So me being an intern along with the other interns, nobody was touching the Pro Tools.
That's crazy. You know,
I mean, I think they even only had it in one room, to tell you the truth. So it was the one main room, Dallas Austin's room or whatever. So most of the time interns, they go to studio, the B room and the C room. The A room is usually the big dog, where usually their main number one intern or assistant person is in that room. But the other rooms, the B room and the C room, at that time, they didn't have the Pro Tools in it. They had still running the studio machines, still doing regular big time sessions, but they were just doing the studio machine. But I was prepared, whenever they was ready to break us into going into the Pro Tools room, I was ready for that. But it didn't happen for me over there. It happened over at Stankonia.
So how long was you at Dallas Austin studio?
April, 3 months.
Okay.
I was over there for 3 months, and make a long story short, without all the details, I was out picking up some cigarette butts in the parking lot. That's what one of the things interns did. And Goody Mob had a session over there at Dallas Austin studio with the engineer who was going to be opening up Outcast studio.
Okay. And who was that at the time? You remember?
Yeah, that was John Fry.
John Fry. Yeah. Wow, I remember John Fry.
So he saw me out there picking up some cigarette butts, and he said, "Hey, you know," we started talking. He said, "You an intern?" I was like, "Yep." So, you know, he wrote down some information on a piece of paper, and he wrote Stankonia on there. Nobody knew what a Stankonia was at that time. That, you know, the Outkast album, Stankonia, wasn't out yet. The studio wasn't even open yet.
Right.
But he wrote down his name and number, and he wrote down Stankonia on there. I still remember not knowing what the hell that was that he wrote down on that paper. But, you know, sometimes you take people's numbers and you don't give them a call. This was one of those situations that I didn't do that. So I hit that dude back like a couple of days later, and he gave me an invitation to come on over to Stankonia because, you know, we were fixing it up. So he said, you know, if you're willing to come over here and do some mopping and sweeping, and the consoles are not working, we got to clean out consoles, and we got to fix light bulbs, and we got to do all this shit. He said, you know, you can come on with us. I was like, I'm coming. So, you know, I went over to, I think her name was Karen, over in Dallas Austin studio, and I told her, you know, it was nice. Thank you for having me for those 3 months. Time to move on.
Yeah, it wasn't no hard feelings, right? It was just like whatever.
No, you know, I'm sure they see a lot of interns come and go, you know. But when I was over there, I got to work with his name is Carl Glover. That was the first engineer I did a session with. I think we did a session with the girl Lil Mama or something like that back in the days. And then the other engineer that I worked with was Alvin Spikes. He was the second engineer that I worked with.
Oh, okay. That's who Mike Jackson worked with.
Yep.
Okay.
And who else did I see over there? I seen Kevin Parker, the black. There was two Kevin Parker. There was a black Kevin Parker and a white Kevin Parker. But there was the black Kevin Parker. I met him over at Dallas Austin Studio too. So I met actually a good handful of people over there who I would see later on in life over at Stankonia. Yep. That was it.
Okay, so you went over to Stankonia. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture up.
Went over to Stankonia in June of '99, and I'm not gonna say it was a mess because they was already working on it already, but you know there was still a broken window from I guess a bad night when Bobby Brown had the studio. I guess he kicked it and did something, you know. So there was still some broken what do you call them, the vocal booth doors. There's still broken glass and broken vocal booth door. The SSL with cobwebs in it and broken light bulbs and static inside the volume faders and all that stuff, whatever. So, you know, we fixed it up. The bathrooms stank, you know, whatever. So,
He's at the back.
I mean, you know, it was old. It was left over from when Bobby Brown had it. So I think nobody was in there for at least about a year and a half.
I said it was called Stankonia.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Yep. So what happened was, even though it wasn't all the way fixed up all the way, they got the A room going, and I was like the last intern to come in there. So the interns was me, Vince, and this dude Warren. And when it came to most of the intern sessions, like you can sit in on this session and watch as an intern or whatever. Them two was getting most of it. You know, I don't even know what I was doing. You know what I was doing? I was also doing a post-production gig at the same time. I forgot about that. Back in the day, there was this place called Cat's Paw Productions. And it was a post-production place. They did a lot of like PAX TV and a lot of other local TV station stuff or whatever. And I was, you know, I had a gig over there too. I forgot about that. So I was doing different things. So I wasn't even over at Stankonia all the time.
Okay.
So I think when I got there in June, it wasn't until like December where I actually got my like first assistant gig over there. But once I got the assistant gig, It only took a few months, before I was working in Pro Tools room.
Okay.
I was actually doing Pro Tools before John Fryer was doing Pro Tools.
So, because when you was getting there, Pro Tools was just becoming the new thing.
Yeah, it was just becoming a thing, and they didn't even have it in '99 in Stankonia. Stankonia didn't get Pro Tools until sometime either in late 2000 or maybe even 2001. But they didn't even have the Pro Tools in '99. So when they did get it, I was already ready for it. I was fooling around with it. John Fryer was actually skeptical of it. So yeah, so they had Pro Tools in the B room and in the C room. And because he was a little bit skeptical of it, they didn't put it in the A room until a little bit later. But once he started working it, he kept the A room to himself. There wasn't nobody else getting that A room except John Fryer.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was doing the Pro Tools in the B room and the C room with David Sheets and Carlissimo, and all the folks.
And you was just working. You was working the sessions for them, and
working the sessions. And man, I got Lisa Left Eye sessions. I got the Blackstreet members sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you making me think about some old memories now. I got to really think now. Yep. Yeah, I spent a week with Lisa Left Eye over in the B room.
Wow, what was that like?
Oh man, that was nice, because that was back when she was dating that football player Rising.
Yeah.
Rising or whatever. And let me see. Oh yeah, and she had the bodyguards come through, and she had them Tupac songs that she was working on, whatever. Man, they kept their eyes on me in them Pro Tools.
So she was doing like Pac songs up there.
Yeah, she had. Remember that album that came out like
history
after
right
she died, the one that she was working on when she died.
Yeah.
I worked on like about 7 songs on that
Death
album.
Row. It was supposed to be for like Death Row or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I can't even remember the name of it, like Star Beauty Child, but she has some cosmic name to it, whatever.
So you recorded songs for her for that album?
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
Over in Stankonia. Yep.
What? That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh yeah, I worked with her, New Edition over there. I got all the New Edition except for, of course, Bobby Brown.
He probably didn't want to come back to that studio. And he did kick doors off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's hot. Okay, so did you moved into the A room after John Frye?
No, he really pretty much kept that to himself.
That was
let me see. I did work in the A room, but that was always only as an assistant. But this dude that I was working, remember Buck50?
Yeah.
Shay?
Yep.
He rented the studio. No, that was through me. So, I was in charge of that session.
Rest in peace to Buck50. Buck50 was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot that. That's damn. Is that how I met Buck50?
Remember when people used to come over to my crib?
I met because he used to roll with Preach.
Yep, Preacher Boy, yep.
Damn,
rest in peace to him too.
Yep, rest in peace to Preach. Man, I remember that because Preach was from Florida. He was coming up from Florida and cutting songs and stuff. We was all working out in the studio, and Buck50 used to be with him.
Yep. And I used to have them try to come over to the crib on Sundays. I used to have that little gathering on Sundays.
Yep.
When I lived in that apartment place.
Yep.
And Al had his R&B group come over.
We went to a lot of different studios. I remember somebody had a studio in the house. We used to go to 13 spot.
Yep, and we lived in the same complex.
Yep, y'all lived in the same complex. And we go back and forth and record. That's man, them was the days. I'll pull up, you'll be like, yo, Preach just left, or like Polo was here, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh man, speaking of Polo, I got Polo on the Facebook or whatever. I see every now and then I see him throwing up stuff that he's still He's still out there trying to do his thing.
Man, I ain't talked to Polo or seen him since then. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's how I met 13. I think was through you.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, cause
Yep.
see, I didn't know. I was like I was saying at the beginning of the show. Um, I was kind of giving like a background. I was like, people. I don't really. People. I don't know if people know or not. It don't really matter. But you know, with Ray being my cousin, I wasn't really like trying to like be a part of like the Dungeon family or nothing at first. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
just kind of was like we was always into the same shit, so we hung out and did stuff or whatever. But I was always doing my own thing. But around 2000, about 2001
Hmm.
was when he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this Dungeonese album. You know what I mean? You here in Atlanta, let's get it cracking." Because I was just getting back to Atlanta from being in school in Arizona. So he was like, "Help me put this album together." I was like, "Cool." And that's when we started recording. And I was like, that's when we worked with you for the first time. That's when I worked with you for the first time. Just being in the studio with Ray at Stankonia or wherever we was at. I don't know. But I know eventually we ended up in Blackberry. I was saying, remember we used to be up there at
Hmm.
3141.
Man,
Yeah, that's when it was popping. We'd be up there all
man,
night just banging songs out.
man, yo, man. Oh man, that's so short lived, but man, that was a spot.
Yeah, I know it. That was the spot right there, man. Like everybody would pull up, man. We would just I remember one night we might have did a whole album in there. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm trying just vibing. But that's because, Ray used to say stuff to me like, you got the studio for the night. Uh, call up whoever you need, features or whatever, and record. And I'd be like, all right, bet. And we'll just go in. Because the first thing it say is call Malik. See if Malik got time. And we'll go in. But yeah, man. So, that's kind of where I remember I knew you engineered at Stankonia, but I didn't really know how you got there. You know what I mean? And then from there, of course, we kept working. Like I remember for a time you was at S-Line Studio.
Yep, because man, over at Ray's studio over at Blackberry, that's when I started working with Mark Twain.
Yep, Twain. I used to be in there with Twain too. Yep.
And Mark Twain was linked up with Crip.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I think I was doing two places at the same time for a minute or something, or I knew
Twain,
Ray's
Mark,
I knew Ray's place was going down.
and I just want to
Say it
say,
again?
I just want to say that Twain is one of my favorite producers, like for real. Like that cat is nasty on the beats. I'll be like, damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, he got some ill, creepy sounds in his production.
Yeah, he's nasty with the beats, man. I fucks with Twain's beats. But yeah, okay, so Twain knew Crip, and then so you started working at S-Line first with Mark Twain?
Yep. That's pretty much it. I think me and Twain, we knew like there was only a week or so left at Ray's place or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm trying to remember the transition, how it happened. But he told me there's going to be another place open in a week. He was going to another place in a week or two or something. I can't remember, but it was like a countdown. So he count down till it opened or something. I don't know what, but I can't remember now. But he had already been going over there, and then he told me to come over there, and I went over there, and that's when I met Crip, and he said he needed an engineer. So I was like, I'm available. I can work. as many places as long as my schedule fits or whatever. And it seemed like it happened kind of fast. Like as soon as I was in there for a session or two, that was it. It just kept on going. Lil Scrappy started coming up in there. Chinky Brown started coming up in there.
S-Line was popping because I used to pull up on it all the time.
That's why I work with the Dog Pound and E40 and all kinds of other people who I didn't even know who they were at the time. Kia Shine and these other folks. I started working with a whole bunch of people that my twin brother started telling me who they were. Just in a regular conversation. He's a little bit more hip than I am. Like I said, I was a nerd. But, I'm talking to him and he's like, hey, so who'd you work with today? And I'm like, oh, I work with somebody, so-and-so and so-and-so. And he's like, oh, you work with him? I'm like, well, you heard of him?
That's hot. Yeah, I know. I'll pull up any given time. It'd be like Lil Scrappy or Crime Mob or who else used to be in there a lot? Attitude.
This dude, Attitude was up in there a lot. This dude named Mo-Pain used to come up in there.
Mo-Pain, yeah. It was kind of like a who's who studio. Like everybody was in there.
Even Isaac
Bill.
Hayes spent some time up in there.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes and DJ Don Cannon.
Yeah, Don Cannon and them. That's what they was doing. All they shit was at S-Line. I remember we used to go in there and be Cannon and Drama.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let me think. Man, everybody used to go to S-Line, man. I miss that studio now, man.
Yep.
And it had a great sound too. Like the B room used to sound good. The speakers in the wall or whatever it was, but they was banging. I know that was because I know
that place is a workout gym now.
That's crazy, yeah. I know we cut a couple records up in there. I can't even remember everything.
Yeah. I gotta jog my memory now because the time go by so fast. It's weird, but that's now what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. I know I must have did at least an album in there.
No, not 15. It's like 11 or 12 years ago.
Yeah. You're right. About 12 years.
At least when it came to an end.
But
yeah, I had that thing from like 2005 to 2010. Aside from Outcast Studio, that's really the longest studio I spent some time in. I was over in Terrell Owens' studio for a little while when he had it.
Because I know even at that time when you was at S-Line, you would still pull up out at Ray House.
Oh, man, shoot, man. That's nobody even know. But when you're talking about a sound and production, and I came down here, I got linked up, trying to get into a studio. That's Dallas Austin Studio. But the sound that brought me down here is not the rappers. It's the production sound. And that one main production sound that got me down here was Organized Noise. And just to be linked up with Ray, shoot, man, you called it right. Even though I'm going to other studios and stuff, I'm still been linking up with Ray. That's my ear right there. That's what I've been listening to.
Yeah, Ray's on another level. He left the universe with beats.
Hell yeah. Nah, shoot, man. I don't even know if he got my number in his thing, but he called me right now. I'm ready to go.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't even think, now I don't even know what he do. I know they just still do everything he been doing, which is just make beats. You know what I mean? He probably just, as he records songs, whoever booked the session, bring an engineer or something. I don't know. I don't really know how that works.
You probably don't even need an engineer for most of what's going on right now these days until it comes time for a recording, actual vocal recording. Because I know he didn't like that too much. I think that was a little bit of a, not hard or anything like that, just not his interest sitting there recording vocals.
Nah, that's not his thing. That's why just to even be recorded, like, cause most of the time it just be me and Ray over there,
Mm-hmm.
like, what I mean, we used to record and
Mm-hmm.
vibe and do all of that stuff. So basically, it had to be fire. You know what I mean? Like when it's fire, he'll sit there and push the buttons. But that's how I feel too, and I had to record him. You know what I mean? Cause
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. He don't like to play it, but people don't even know. Like Ray, you know what I mean. Ray rap too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we used to sit over there and record songs all the time, man. Especially on holidays when it's like we kind of just doing nothing. Not really doing nothing, but shit be closed and everybody, you just chilling. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, that should be just do shit like that all the time. Cause any other time it'd be a bunch of people there, and it might be more like a posse cut type song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Man, have you been to Stankonia with them at all? Do they all still get together, or is it slimmed down? Because I know
yeah,
people get married, people have kids, all that kind of stuff. Is
nah, they
still a
locked,
big gathering
they
of
locked in.
production.
Yeah, they locked in. Like they not. I don't think they've changed much in their formula. Like I was going up to Stankonia with them, like with Ray a lot, up until like COVID. When COVID hit, everybody kind of just sat down for a minute. But I still went a couple times. But now I'm not sure. I haven't been probably in a few months.
Yeah.
But from what I know, I talked to Ray, and from what I know, from what I could see, whatever, they locked in still. Like it's all three of them in there, or at least Ray and Sleepy, or you know what I mean, like.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they locked in. Same formula. Yep. I don't think that'll ever change. Like that's one thing about the dungeon I could say is that it like niggas is really hip hop niggas, like like cats love this shit. That's why niggas do it. So when you love it, it don't matter. You got wife and kids and all that. You still gonna do what you know what I mean. You still gonna be you. I never really understood like how people be like, oh, I do this now, and so I don't do that anymore. I've changed. It's like, I guess, but I'm gonna do me.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't expect too much of a change, but I would just think, availability changes things. If you all of a sudden got a wife, that's a little bit of extra attention that you're gonna have to pay attention to. But then if you got kids, then we grow, we get older, so slightly change,
Yeah, I think,
schedule change or availability change.
Yeah, responsibility is responsibility, but at the same time, when you're talking about cats that do this shit, like this is how they feed their
Make their
kids,
living.
that kind of shit, then it's not like a hobby they gotta adjust around. You know what I mean? It's like this is what I do, and then I go home to my family. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's pretty much how I see it. I guess that's what it looked like at least. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, but yeah, or cats just do like I do the same shit. Like I build around myself, so like I have shit around me. Like I can record at home, or I can, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to go to the studio. I can do it, You know what I mean?
Yep.
That kind of shit. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'm still trying to stay. I'm still trying to stay with it, but the whole studio life is different.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many studios are still staying afloat at the moment. I know some people just have a studio, but they're the engineer. Usually, the people nowadays who own the studio is also the engineer. It's not like they got other rooms available to hire people. That kind of formula kind of changed. There's some people who still got multiple rooms, but them rooms just be sitting there empty.
True.
And the one room that be running be from the person who owns the studio.
Yeah, from what I can tell.
I've done more work at home at my place or other people's places than I have at studios in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I was working on about 4 months ago. The dude Bizarre from D12.
Uh-huh.
He was living down here for a minute before he went back to Detroit.
Yeah,
But Slim Calhoun hooked me up with him, and I was going to his place, to Bizarre's place, and recording him. He's doing features for other people and stuff, but it's all just on Pro Tools, down this basement, and the place wasn't even suited for proper studio recording or whatever. We made it happen.
Damn, that's hot.
That's how a lot of my sessions been going, mixing at home or at some other people's place, which is not even a complete real studio place.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not tuned and all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I've been doing. Like, it's different when you in a studio, but at the same time, people don't listen to the end product in the studio. They get it and they play it on their little earbuds or they, you know what I mean? Some shit like that off their phone. So, you could spend a whole lot of time focusing on that, and nobody really hears it. And then the other part is you can not focus on it, and then somebody go play it on some big speakers and be like, "Oh, that shit sounds terrible." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that shit is crazy. But yeah, that's one thing I like about like going to the studio. I remember, like, especially when I first started making tracks, doing shit. I used to love pulling up at the studio and playing my shit and hearing that shit on the speakers, like. That was like
that's one of the things. That's funny though that you say that, because that's one of the things that I always remember. Especially, it actually seemed more annoying being an assistant, because that's when people try to jump on you as an assistant or as an intern. But I remember being in the studios, all the different little beat makers come in. Hey, play this. Put this in the system. Play my CD. Play my tape.
Play my CD. Play my
trying to take over somebody else's recording session so that they can play their stuff in the big speakers.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with the spooky look on my face, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
Looking over at Big Boy or somebody, like, he wants me to play his stuff. Can I do this?
Right. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the show too. I was like, people don't understand, man. Like, when the engineers would be scared to record you. Like, if you just came to them and was like, "Hey, I'm about to go, give me a track or whatever," you know what I mean? I'm about to go in the booth. The engineer would be looking at the producer like, "Is it okay?" Like, because I've seen engineers get fired over stuff like that. You let the wrong cat go in there and be like, "What you doing?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That shit is crazy. So yeah, I know, like, when I first started, I was like, you and Morgan, y'all was probably like the only two engineers I remember that really used to be like, yeah, go in the booth. You know what I mean? Like, if it's whack, I don't know what to tell you, but if you think it's fire, go on in there. Yeah, That shit was dope. And a lot of the times I'd be freestyling. I wouldn't even have a verse to that. I'd just be like, damn.
The best songs that I got, with people on my beats, you on like a handful of them.
Yeah, I did a couple songs on your tracks. Like I did,
I think you did about 5 or 6.
yeah, I did. I'm trying to remember all the names. I know Scarred. That's one of my favorite songs. You did Scarred. That's Streets done change. Everybody wants to know your name. That's why it gets started again.
Yep.
That shit. And then you did damn, you did a bunch of shit, man. I can't remember the names of all of them.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but I got it all backed up. I got them,
Nah, I was just listening to them today because you guys sent me a file one time with like all these different songs, freestyles and everything I had did on your tracks. Like everything new this year, new house, new money this year.
Yep.
All that shit.
Yeah.
That shit was hot. I wanna add that to my radio station. That's why I was listening to it. I was looking for stuff to add to the radio station.
Word.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's dope. Like, cause I need to probably interject here too and kind of reiterate for anybody who's just joining in, didn't catch the beginning or anything like that. I'm speaking with Malik Albert. I'm in Facebook jail. I can't use video, Facebook Messenger, and all of that, and it's too complicated. So we still chatting. I got the picture up. Slight technical difficulty, but yeah, Malik Albert is. If you wasn't listening, he's an engineer in Atlanta. He's worked with pretty much. If you could name somebody you like, he probably recorded and mixed some of them songs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And so, and please like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna say it again because why? Not that I care, but because YouTube won't show my videos to anybody if the people that are watching don't like, share, and subscribe to it. Like that's the algorithm. And then what? I get vaulted and it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So if you're watching it and you like it, it's interesting, whatever, share it, like it, hit the thumbs up or something. But yeah. Or comment. If you got questions and you out there, whatever, comment. I can see them, I think. But yeah, I can't see them. I got live chats. You know what I mean? I can see them. You could be like, yo, what's up? How do you work an SSL? What is an SSL? Because we just talking, you know. A lot of people might not know what an SSL is. But but yeah. So back to what we was talking about. So you have worked with pretty much everybody, like when it comes to like just being in the studio, mixing, engineering.
It's the old school everybody, It's not this new era everybody,
Yeah. It's not the new era per se. Yeah. Maybe yet.
And
yet. Somebody probably gonna be like, man, I want my song to sound like, who did that? It say Malik Albert. Man, call him up. Why it don't sound like that?
Word.
But yeah, so do you think that, in your opinion, has it ever mattered who the artist was? Like, do you think, like, can you, I guess what I'm asking is, when you working with artists, and you don't have to say names or nothing like that, but can you tell off top like this cat ain't got it or this is not it or?
Oh man, that's a good question. You know why? Because it all comes down to opinion. I've worked with, and like you said, I guess I won't say no names, but
I mean,
I've
you
worked with some
can.
people.
I ain't tripping. Don't nobody watch the show.
No, I've worked with some people who I just was not feeling it at all, but they already made it. They already out there. Sitting there like, man, how do people like this? Whatever. Now, if you're talking about predicting, like listening to someone before they come up, I do a lot of that, even just from the house, like just recording people, whether it's if I record somebody on my track or just recording somebody on somebody else's track, but just recording them. I'm sitting there listening to these vocals, whether it's singing or rapping, listening to the delivery, and I'm like, wow, this is horrible. This is some bullshit. But what these people are doing is the very thing that's popular at the moment. So how can I, it's just my opinion. It could be some auto-tune filled, off kilter type delivery, rap, or whatever, using a different, not a 4/4 pattern, but some other little scheme or whatever. Whatever it is these people are doing nowadays or whatever, Migos. Man. Even at the school that I'm working at right now, where these people are doing it, I listen to some of these young rappers or whatever, and they're doing what's popular. So if I have to judge them on are they good at doing what everyone else is doing, then I gotta say, yeah, you could. There might be a chance you can make it. But if you ask me in my own personal taste, like, it's some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I like. It's hard for me to say. It's because I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan of music, I guess, and especially hip hop and rap music, and I don't really think it's the same thing. Like, I don't think what I do is in the same category as what maybe the Migos do. Even though it's all classified under the same umbrella, just because we're technically rapping on the beat, but everybody that's singing on a song is not in the same genre of music. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And I agree with you 100%. And just like there's all different kinds of levels of jazz and different levels of rock and even different little classifications of country, rap got the same thing going on. There's different levels, different subgenres, and all that kind of stuff. What I don't like with these people nowadays, and you might see me make fun of Lil Baby or some of them other rappers out there, whatever. You might see me make fun of them. What it is I really just don't like the voices that they use and some of their deliveries. But I love the music. I would much rather hear you on all them beats that I'm hearing, all these people that I don't like. I'm loving the music. These producers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think they're doing good stuff with the music or whatever. But I think that the artist that's getting on all these beats, and that's only my opinion, because they're making money. It's only my opinion. But I don't know what's going on with it these days. People are choosing to come up with horrible ass hooks. People are choosing to come up with a shitty ass voice to use for a rap voice.
Well, I think that comes from. This is just my theory. I don't want to get ran down by the media police or something. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. My theory is that. Okay. Record companies and all of that kind of shit. Of course, it started off, they were physically selling records, right? They could give two shits about the artistry of the music. If people was buying motherfuckers, I don't know, ham boning and slapping their thighs and singing, that would have been what they were selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think their model has always been like to whatever has worked, that's all they looking for.
Right.
And then in order to, that's why artists, in order to break through with something new, they've always had to kind of go out on their own and do it so big to where those companies come and say, okay, look, we'll print up some records. But anyway, they don't have records no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not even buying physical shit. It's like downloads and blah, 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 blah. So now, I believe it's more so like a thing of like, they're selling like lifestyle brands through music. You know what I mean? I guess that's some shit I just came up with. I put lifestyle brand on it. That's what I'm gonna call it. Lifestyle brands through music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they don't want to up the level, the mental level of the listener or the audience, or inspire them to do. They don't want to do none of that shit. Keep them motherfuckers dumb is what they thinking. Keep them dumb. Keep them partying and drunk and whatever, and we gonna make money off of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they start thinking, shit, then what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of where we're at. So, in order for art, like, it's all kind of dope ass artists and people that make music that's amazing. Never hear them on commercial radio. That shit comes from, that shit you hear, all you hear on commercial radio is just, you know, the same shit. Sex, drugs, and what, more sex and more drugs.
No, but you're absolutely right. You want to know how bad that business is with that business? Not only do they want to keep you exactly like the way you said it, but they also throw their hands in on money from the song. So let's say, I'll give you an example. I did a 1 week session with this dude from Warner Brothers Records over there at S-Line Studio. And in that 1 week, he had all kinds of people coming to the studio. People from Florida, people from Tennessee. And what he was doing was he was hooking up writers with producers. Whoever was supposed to be hot, he was linking them all up. Sometimes we had the studio full of 2 or 3 different writing acts and 2 different producers at the same time and stuff like that. He was just booking and booking and booking for that 1 week. Double booking, people coming through, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to remember all the people that I work with, but I can't remember at the moment. I remember Ruben Studdard came through. But anyways, here's the thing that was going, here's what I noticed. It took me about 2 or 3 days to notice this. But let's say you came in, you was one of the people, and he hooked you up with a producer. Producer made a song, and you started writing to it. And this dude, the Warner Brothers dude, sitting on the side, getting happy because everything's jiving, right? He knows that because he put the whole thing together, Warner Brothers is going to have a name on it. Whether it's executive producer or A&R of the song or whatever. But not only that, let's say you sat there and you wrote your song. And you cared. So, you know, everything is already fly. Here's the business move. You'll sit there and say, okay, well, you know what? How about if you just change this word to this word? And maybe, or, you know, how about if the end of the hook goes like this? Instead of those last 3 words, it goes, when the club goes, hey, or something like that. Do something like that. Now, here's what I noticed everyone that he was doing this to. Everyone that he was doing this to, nobody was saying no. Maybe because he's the Warner Brothers dude, maybe because he hooked up the whole session or whatever. But everyone was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we could do it like that with him. We could do that." But if you go and write down who wrote the song and all that kind of stuff, he automatically has his name on all the songs because he always kept on suggesting to change a piece of the song.
Wow.
So that keeps Warner Brothers not only in charge of being the A&R of the whole session, putting these people together, but now they literally got royalty in the song, when it comes to writer, publishing, all that kind of stuff. And he did that for the whole week. I remember I told Crip Kev about that, but it was really only toward the end of the whole thing. But
that's crazy.
It's not like he's going to do anything about it, but he was just like, wow. So he was like, wow.
So that's crazy. And that's how they get a little piece of everybody's stuff.
Yep, they keep you in your place where they want you to be on that low level quality, and then they also get a hand in on your percentages on your royalty publishing. Automatic writers in the song.
That's crazy.
They might only change one or two words.
I've never had anybody fuck with me about my lyrics. Like even like Warner Brothers people or whatever. Like I've always been told, like, we love it. Like, just keep doing that. You know what I mean? I've never heard, maybe you should say it like this. I'd have looked at him like, what?
I really still don't want to say that somebody did that, but not with so much attitude, but someone, defied it. But I can't remember all the people for that whole week, man. And it was, I remember they had it was a popular little production team from Florida. And I don't know, I never even really heard from these people again. But man, I can't remember nobody. This is 12 years ago? Yeah, 12 years ago is when the studio came to an end.
You said it was a popular production team from Florida?
Yeah, and it was young cats. It wasn't that the people who do that stuff for Rick Ross. It wasn't that.
I was thinking Cool and Dre.
No, not Cool and Dre. No, this is real young. They had that young sound. Not none of this mature stuff.
Okay.
Some young shit.
Okay. I probably ain't up on it. The young stuff moved too fast for me. My son, he be on it. I listen to what he play. I'll be like, okay, that's hot. You know what I mean? But other than that, nah, I can't keep up. It moved too fast for me. Like, it's a new cat out here every day. To me, it's like it's like college football. Like, people be into college football, that's cool. I never was. Like, well, I ain't gonna say never was. But I fuck with the NFL because cats come in the NFL, they play for 13 years. You can keep up with them. College, you see them that 1 year maybe he hot and then he move on. You know what I mean? Like, the teams change too much for me. Like, I can't keep up with college. And that's how I feel like with the younger rappers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If somebody catch my attention and they hold like a Lil Baby or something like that, then you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I can fuck with that. I can see he's looking like he longevity and he's about to do so, be here for a minute. He got records, a catalog. Like, I can fuck with him. You know what I mean? But when they pop up and it be just, some dude named YKK LF Elemento, and then this song be like gang, 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 you be like, okay, well, he might not be here for me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's how I feel about. Hey, Sakura, come here. That's how I feel about. There's this girl out there. Who's that girl, Sakura, that you played that song for me with? That girl, who's that? So LeRae, what? Corey LeRae? Oh man, I heard that on the radio the other day. I was like, hell no. Hell no. It's on the radio. I'm like, no. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Nah, I ain't never heard that.
There's some chick out there. I think she said her name is Coy LeRae.
Corey
And-
or Coy?
No, Coy.
Coy.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to spell it. Sakura, come here.
Like
I don't even know how
koi
to spell
fish.
it.
It's probably spelled like koi fish.
How you spell it? COI LERAY.
Okay.
Coy LeRae. She got some song, man.
Nah, she spelled it.
Yeah, and I'm not even
Coy,
trying to be
like-
funny and be exaggerating.
Cool.
I don't know the words, but it just sounds like.
Man, that's yeah. Some stuff I can't get it. Especially some of the R&B. Some of the R&B to me I can't really get with because I feel like they out of key. You know what I mean? I could deal with some shit when it's like a style, but other shit it'd be like, damn, that shit's like, what? I can't listen to that. It's like it's clashing or something, you know. But,
Well, I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of these R&B chicks these days, everyone's got a sort of a Kalani sound.
now her, I
Everyone's singing from the back of their throat or something like, and I don't know, man. R&B is changing.
but I like
Still
Kehlani,
good.
Kehlani or whatever her name is. She got some dope songs.
Oh yeah, man. I got, but all the copycats. I've been listening to Kalani for about 6 years now or whatever.
Yeah.
But I started listening to about a handful of other brand new girls that's been popping up, and it seemed like they all jumping on her thing or whatever.
Wow. So, let me ask you this too. Then, like, when it comes to rappers you've worked with over the years, who can you name like some of your favorites to work with? Maybe some of your
Yeah.
favorites, and then
Now
yeah,
I like
yeah.
delivery, and I think really I'm gonna forget a whole bunch of rappers. But you know who the best ones were, man. That I like, and I'm glad that I got to work with them. Was Snoop Dogg,
Dope.
E40. I got to work with him a couple times over there. That's line like a year and then a year later. But also one of my all-time favorites, because I don't think nobody knows this, but I'm West Coast. I'm from Boston, so I like my northern sound. I like my New York and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But I'm West Coast. I'm West Coast, man. So yeah, that's why I'm glad I got to work with Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound at different times.
Dope.
I actually got to work with Dog Pound over at S-Line. That's that Crip thing going on over there. But of course, I'm glad I got to record Big Boy multiple times.
Dope, Big Boy.
But everyone that I picked, I ain't even really worked with a whole bunch of famous rappers. I worked with a whole bunch of rappers, but Crime Mob and Lil Scrappy, and yeah, I did work with a whole bunch of other people. But the ones I'm gonna remember as my favorite, those people can spit. Those people got lyrics, they got delivery, they got pronunciation in their words, clarity or whatever.
Was it hard to record E40? Because I know the way he rhyme is like it's precise.
No, but since he's precise and he knows what he's doing, that's his thing. It wasn't like a whole bunch of cut and takes, mess up, got to do it again kind of thing.
He was just spitting straight through.
He just lay it right off.
Hell yeah. That's 40 water right there, man.
Yep. Yep, no, there was no problems there. You know who I did like back in the days when they came out, and when I got to work with them, I thought it was so weird to record them. Was Field Mob.
Field Mob.
Field Mob. Yes.
Yeah, Field Mob was dope though. They was dope.
I love that stuff, boy. And they just, oh man, they just fell apart. But boy, they had some joints.
Field Mob was
so
dope.
When I got to record them over at Stankonia, they would, the way they did recording was the way a lot of inexperienced engineers or people might record in their house. You know, say a couple of bars on one line, and then jump to another track, continue with the verse on a couple more lines, and then open up another track, and then so it looks like you got like a staircase of vocals because they keep saying each piece on each line.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's how they did it. And then every time I recorded them, different songs or whatever, every time I was recording them, I kept on thinking about the hit songs that they got. You know, what they went through to record those songs.
Right. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who do you think was like most difficult?
Well, there really is no difficult. Probably to an inexperienced engineer, doing a recording like that might be considered a little bit difficult, because then you got to comp all this stuff back together and make it look like one verse on one track or whatever.
Levels and all of that, yeah.
So if you got someone constantly stopping and going like that, that's probably the most difficult that you'd have to deal with. But if you know what's going on with something like that, then it's cool. But you know who also did it like that? But he tried to do it freestyle all the time? Lil Scrappy.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, like sometimes people hear things about famous rappers or whatever, and they decide to model themselves after something that sounds so great or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember how people used to always do, who was it? Biggie. Biggie didn't go inside. He didn't write anything down. Whatever. He went straight to the booth and just straight from the head with it. You know. So some people want to do things like that with it. I'm not saying that's what Lil Scrappy did, but that's a well-known thing that when people say that. Well, I don't write it down. You go from stuff in my head to blah. So anyways, that's what Lil Scrappy did. But he would always go in there, freestyle a couple of lines, and then come out. Think about it, and then go back into the booth. And based off of what he was thinking, freestyle from what he was thinking for the next line. Man, we had some long nights just to do a verse.
Just to do that. Damn.
Yeah, just to do that.
That's crazy.
You can really just sit down with a pad and paper.
I remember Scrappy used to be up there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. Yep. Him and is he still with Diamond?
You know, I don't even know.
Man.
I don't think so. Hasn't he been on like Love and Hip Hop with another chick?
I don't follow none of that reality stuff, man. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either, but my girl at the time, she was into that shit. And I be seeing all of that shit, you know what I mean? Like she keep up with it. I remember one episode, they had some chick on there talking about she was from the Dungeon family. I was like, what?
No, you ain't.
Right. I mean, they had it on the screen, like, such and such from the Dungeon family. I'm talking about everybody, the phones ringing and shit. Ooh, this bitch, you know this bitch? I don't know who the fuck that is. Like, niggas are thinking, like, that's probably somebody kid. No, like, nah, that ain't nobody I know, goddamn. But come to find out, it was a typo. They were supposed to put the Dayton family, and they put the Dungeon family.
Oh.
Apparently, that's what they said. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. So yeah, all right. So we was able to chop it up for a minute on here, though. I think that's dope. I still want to have you come back on when the camera's right, so we could really talk. Cause I was trying to keep I didn't want to go in depth and then ruin that one. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's dope. I think we at least scratched the surface with this, and got some dope information, and hopefully we can get the video up soon, and come back on here and do like a real interview where we talk about like how you transition. Because one thing I did want to ask you before we get off too is, in your opinion, do you think there's any truth to when people say like the analog sound better, like when you was recording on tape, you know what I mean, like in the studio, like
Right.
reels
Analog versus digital.
the digital, yeah.
Here's what I'll say. We human beings all over this planet, listening to all different kinds of stuff. We're listening to music through videos on TV. We're listening to music on the radio. We're listening to it on the internet, computers, whatever. All those different sounds changes the sound in some condition. Has for years, even back when it was nothing but the radio. The record, once you put it on the radio and they do their little radio AM, mono, FM, whatever, and compression and all that kind of stuff, it's always a slight difference in the sound. So you can claim that you're listening to digital, or you can claim that you're listening to analog, but something's changing it somewhere. As long as everyone's happy, I'm not even getting into that war.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most of the time, unless you're doing it on a computer, it's going to start off as digital anyways. So you're going to have to do some sort of processing or something to make it have an analogish kind of sound to it. Either way, you're just messing with sounds. You're just manipulating it. You're just messing with people's ears. I just say if it sounds good in the end, forget all that stuff.
Because I never really, I'm going to be honest, I never really understood analog and digital, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in my mind, like right now, I have a 808, and it's supposed to be analog. Like you know the 8, you saw it when you came over here, the 808 machine.
Right.
It's supposed to be analog, but it's digital.
Right. All right. So I'll see if I can get through this real quick. All right. So analog is the way you capture all of a sound, all the frequencies within the sound. But when you go digital, things get chopped. You don't really hear it because it's so small, so tiny that you don't really hear it. But just because of the fact that there is loss, is what they say, loss. People always want more of it. So as long as they can try to get digital to capture as much sound as analog, that's what they're going to keep trying. So I think right now we're at like 196 kilohertz of digital, which is way bigger than what it used to be 15 years ago. I think even 15, 20 years ago, the big thing was 96 kilohertz, maybe even 48 kilohertz. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at that time, 20 years ago, when people were doing mixes and the highest thing of digital was 48 or 96, that was the big shit. So now that we're at 196, all of a sudden, 98 kilohertz is not good anymore. It's really just people knowing that they're capturing more of the sound, but they're not really hearing too much of a difference.
Right, because you can only hear. That's what I say about a lot of this digital. Like, they be like, oh, you can see it in 480 pixel and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, but our eyes ain't that detailed. You know what I mean? Like, we don't see real life in super HD. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know.
When you're in a club listening to a song, you're not looking at meters.
Yeah, meters, none of that shit.
It's like, wow, I'm really capturing the full thing of this thing. You're just listening for it. You're not looking for it.
Yeah, but they act like we are, buy these headphones, these capture the surround XYZ and all of this. And it's like, you buy that shit, and I know, like, I have beats, I like them, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna front like I don't like them, but to me, they don't sound that much more impressive than other headphones I've had. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, see, people just like the bass boost. That's it. When you see them cars, you ever hear them cars with people's license plate just be rattling in the back because they got so much boost in the car?
Yep.
And that's what people like. So if the headphones are doing it to them, that's great. You might listen to it and you know how to properly listen to sound. You might listen to it and just be like, what the hell? Sometimes I get in people's cars and I'd be like, you mind if I put your EQ on flat for a second? You know what I mean? They'd just be having things, and songs don't sound right. From one song to the next or anything like that. It just don't sound right.
Yeah. Yeah. But
the headphones and speakers do have to have a nice playback range frequency.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're making your song, you're deciding if you're going to record it analog or record it digital, you're not going to have too much of a big difference with the qualities today.
True. Yep. That's what's up, man. So, we got that out the way. Everybody out there, that's real shit for all you analog digitizers and arguers out there. It really ain't that big of a deal. It's whatever the fuck you feel like doing for what you're doing. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's what's up. I know I'm sitting here. I'm about to fall asleep because it's almost 1:00, and I've been up since probably now about 20 hours straight. So
damn.
Yeah, that's a normal day for me. But yeah, it's about time I'm gonna call it in. But man, I appreciate you coming on, even doing this, man, for a minute. And like I said, we're gonna bring you back on with the live video and go more in depth and really chop it up. So I wanted to get, because I know like you my go-to guy for like equipment, anything, like all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I wanted to get more in depth when we could talk about like equipment, what's in the studio, filters, recording techniques, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, man, appreciate you coming on the show. Malik Albert, y'all out there, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and chime in and all of that, and support the podcast. I guess I shouldn't say support. I should say uplift. We're going to uplift the podcast because people don't like the support no more. But, you know,
Yep.
you know, they hear support, they get the running. So we're going to say uplift. We're going to uplift the podcast. They help uplift. So, yeah, man. Appreciate it. Salute. Tell Ula I said what's up. Tell Musashi
what's up,
and the rest of the kids. What's up, Ula? I was talking about Ula earlier. I was saying that time we went over there and she made the Japanese food.
Yep.
Woo! That food was so
We gotta do
good.
it again.
Yeah.
She looking at you.
Oh, what's up? That's what's up. I forgot you could see me.
Your hair growing.
Yeah, it's getting long. Yeah, you should see my son's. His is in his eyes like this.
Really?
Yeah.
How does he know?
He's about to turn 16 this summer in
Damn.
July.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. He getting on. I'm about to. Yep. He about ready to start driving and everything.
Word.
Yep. That's what's up. So yeah, man. Peace to y'all and the family. And,
For sure.
Definitely, man. We're gonna holler back in a minute.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, this was actually sort of just like one of our regular phone conversations, really.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, it's really just a phone conversation. It's just like, you know, we just chop it up, talk about shit, and, you know, it's a little more. I try to use my broadcast voice a little bit. That's all. But
But that make sure that bass is up in there and make sure it's down in there. You know.
yeah, you know, what I mean, you gotta use your broadcast voice a little bit. I'm working on it. But but yeah, that's pretty much it though. You know, what I mean, it's not that hard. At first, I was like, damn, I'm overthinking it. I should just do it like this.
All right. All right. Well, shoot. Till next time.
Yep.
I'll say to your podcasters, your viewers, y'all think new.
Yep, definitely think new. Appreciate you.
For sure.
All right, later.
Later.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man, that was Malik Albert. And like I said, we had the technical difficulties. We couldn't get the video on tonight. But it's cool. We still just had we chopped it up, had a cool conversation where we got to know some of the stuff he's done, his background, stuff like that. And hopefully next week probably I'm trying to have him back on. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe it'll be Zoom or maybe he'll come in live on the show. But yeah, man, I think I'm just trying to keep it rolling. I got some more interesting people lined up, some more interesting guests for you, and as always, it's usually people that I know or have worked with, but I feel like they're interested, they dope, they do stuff, and that kind of thing, and I think that my audience would enjoy a conversation with them and to find out who they are and stuff like that. Like with Malik, even some of that stuff I didn't even know. I know Malik is the guy. You know what I mean? He's always doing something with somebody who's that dude, like he said, Snoop Dogg or whatever. You hit Malik up, yo, what's happening? Oh man, I'm in a session with Snoop. You know what I mean? That's Malik. But a lot of people don't know. I don't know. I think that's dope. To think about that. You hear all of these songs, you might like all of this stuff, but you don't think about the fact Malik, he may have mixed all 4 or 5 of your favorite records. He mixed them. You know what I mean? He recorded them, or maybe even more than that. As many people he didn't work with, it might have been 10, 20 of your favorite records. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize that engineering is a skill. It requires an ear. You got to know how to. I know because I produce records and I record records. I'm a rapper. You know what I mean? And I know how. I've done songs. It just depends. You can hear one song Malik mixed for me. It's online. I mean, I got a couple songs that's up online he mixed, but this one in particular, it's called Lean On, and it's me, it's Big Vision, and Rico Wade, and Wallace, right? Wallace on the hook. So when we recorded it, it was raw, it was just rocking. You know what I mean? And I it's funny because I listened to the version of that song earlier, and then I took it to the studio with Malik. Afterwards, we was like, yeah, we're gonna fuck with this, mix it, and get it right. So took it to the studio with Malik. We sat there, we mixed it. And when I go to the studio, especially with somebody like Malik, that's an engineer thing, I kind of don't like to give too much input because I've already made the record. This is what I hear right now. This is where I've taken it to. I kind of want to see what they hear now, because the engineer will get in there and he'll be like, oh, okay, well, let me turn this up or turn that down, and put a drop here, and you know, he's polishing it up. So then after he gets through his rough mix, sometimes the record can sound totally different, which in this case, I wouldn't say it sounded totally different, but it sounded different. Malik heard it a little different than we did. The way he heard different instruments coming in and out, and the way it was riding and everything, and I was like, man, that shit dope. And so when I took it to Ray, Ray was like, yo, what happened to this? What happened to that? Where's this? Where's that? Where's that? And then he was like, kind of like, it sounded like a totally different record. You know what I mean? Until he, you know, of course, he listened to it again. He was like, okay, I see you did. You know, it's just the vibe. That's the vibe. That's the version that's up on YouTube right now. Is the one Malik did. You know what I mean? Because it was rocking. It was way more interesting, energetic, and made it in my opinion, it made it a more commercial record, where at first it was sounding more like an alternative record. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the kind of stuff engineers can do, or are known to do. They flip all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? But you know, he's knowledgeable about all the equipment and different, well, I can say all the equipment, but, you know, a lot of different equipment and how to use it and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? He's one of my go-to guys. Like, if I have a question about something, I call Malik. You know what I mean? And he'll kind of help me get through it or learn it or whatever. So, yeah, I just want to, you know, be able to bring him back on. We chop it up some more about, you know, music geek stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate him for coming on the show. And I appreciate everybody out there that's watching it, supports, or I should say uplifts the podcast. And yeah, till next time, Side Street Kid. The effing. This has been another episode of Think New. And I'm out here. We're gonna go back to play some. We'll go back to the radio.